But let's talk about just how important the money those kettles raise is for what the Salvation Army does all year.
Well, not a lot of people know that the money we raise at the Red Kettles goes to our direct services. So it helps at Christmas time, but then it also funds the services we provide throughout the year. So when people come in, say in February or March, needing help with rent or utilities, that's what this money helps pay for as well.
Weekend, we thought this was absolutely wonderful, but last weekend you actually had an anonymous donor there in the Shoals who agreed to match all money collected in those red kettles. Do you have any numbers from just how significant that was, that match?
So that was one of our big days. We raised just over $33,000 at the kettles. So with the match, that comes to $66,000, which is about just over a quarter of what we are hoping to raise this year. And we still got a little bit of ways to go. We're at about 115,000 right now with 14 days left to go. So we're pushing to the finish, but we were really excited about all the work we did last weekend.
That is wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, of course, the Salvation Army does so much and has so many programs to help folks in our community. I love the Red Kettles, but one of my favorite programs, honestly, is the Salvation Army Angel Tree. And of course, you've got that program happening there in the Shoals right now, too. What does the turnout look like for that program right now?
So all of our angels have been adopted, which is always a blessing for us. We have seen a tremendous increase in need. We had about 200 extra angels this year as opposed to last year. So we've seen an increase in need across the Shoals, but probably also across the country as the economy is making it harder for families to meet those needs that they have. And so we saw that play out in the Angel Tree, and we've got a final push here. Our distribution is, I believe it's Tuesday of next week. So if you've adopted an angel, get it back to us so we can make sure that that child gets those toys for Christmas.
One more question, if I may. You talked about the fact that more people need help this year, but are you finding that more people may not be able to give or give as much this year also for the same reason, the economy and inflation and that sort of thing?
It's always fascinating to see that when need increases, the generosity of people also increases. The idea behind the Red Kettle program and Angel Tree is all about community. So it's a community helping its neighbors. So these are individuals that they're the people that you are standing behind at the grocery line. They are individuals that you'll meet on a day-to-day basis. They're not what you might think of when you think of people who need help. So the community is always willing to step up and help those individuals who are struggling to make ends meet. So it's always interesting to see that as need increases, so does the generosity of our communities.
Well, we thank you and all those Salvation Army workers and volunteers doing so much to make a difference in our community all year round. Captain Morgan, we also thank you so much, Captain Watts, I mean to say, we thank you so much for joining us on this Friday morning and telling us where things stand there in the Shoals with the Salvation Army.
Thanks for having me.